You know, when a figure like Henry Kissinger reaches the age of 100, you'd think his final work would be looking back, right? A memoir about shaping the 20th century. But nope. His final days were dedicated to a single, urgent message, not about the past he knew, but about a future he saw coming for all of us. This is the story of his last book and his final, crucial warning.
Wow. Talk about a chilling way to set the stage. That line comes from the memorial section of his book. Think about it. This is the man who helped the world navigate the nuclear threat. And as his own life was ending, he saw a new form of life beginning. One that he believed carried the exact same kind of existential risk.
So yeah, he spent his last year laser-focused on this book, Genesis. He wasn't rehashing old diplomatic battles or wars. He was looking straight ahead at the arrival of artificial intelligence and asking what it really means for the entire human story.
He and his co-authors didn't see AI as just another tech upgrade. To them, it's a new chapter in history, as big a deal as the Enlightenment. They argued it's going to completely rewire human thought in ways we can't even predict and force us to find answers to questions we never, ever thought to ask.
So what did he see that was so revolutionary? Well, the book breaks it down into 3 huge, fundamental transformations. And the first one starts with his idea of AI as a brand new kind of explorer. One that plays by a totally different set of rules than any human pioneer ever has.
Just think for a second about how brutal human exploration has always been. Take Ferdinand Magellan's 3-year journey to circle the globe. It was an absolute epic of human courage. But of the 270 men who set out, only 18 made it back on a single battered ship. It just goes to show you the very real, very painful biological limits we've always been up against.
Exactly. Human discovery has always been this battle with our own fragile bodies. You have these amazing stories, like Ernest Shackleton turning back just short of the South Pole because he knew his men wouldn't survive. That's a human decision. AI has 0 of those limits. It doesn't get tired, it doesn't get scared, it doesn't feel shame. It can try something, fail a million times in a second, and just instantly recalibrate. No cost, no emotional baggage.
And this exploration isn't just about climbing mountains, it's about exploring knowledge itself. You know, throughout history, big breakthroughs often came from these rare geniuses called polymaths, people who could master totally different fields. Well, AI is the ultimate polymath. It can see the connections between genetics and ancient history and astrophysics all at the same time, creating what the book calls a totally new unity of knowledge.
But here's where it gets really mind-bending. It's not just what AI knows, it's how it knows it. And that brings us to the second massive transformation. AI is not just a better tool, it's a fundamentally alien kind of mind.
So let's start with raw speed. An AI supercomputer processes information about 120 million times faster than our brain does. That's not just a little bit quicker. It's a difference that creates a completely new way of thinking. It can absorb insane amounts of information and handle countless jobs all at once.
Then you've got scale. Our brains, they're biological. They have to fit inside our skulls. We've kind of hit our evolutionary peak on that front. But AI, it doesn't have a body. It's not stuck anywhere. You can just keep connecting models together, making it bigger and bigger, with, as far as we can tell, no real limit.
And all that speed and scale leads to this really weird new problem: information without explanation. An AI can give us an incredibly accurate answer, but a lot of the time, we have no clue how it got there. It's called the black box problem. For the first time, we're separating knowledge from human understanding. We see the what, but the how is a total mystery.
And that forces us to ask a question that shakes the very foundation of science and reason. For the last 500 years, truth has been all about being able to show your work, to explain your logic. So, if an AI's thinking is so complex we can't even follow it, what does that do to our whole concept of truth? So this completely unfamiliar way of knowing things leads us straight to the third and final transformation. What does AI do to politics and power? I mean, if it can know things we can't and think in ways we can't, what does that mean for who's in charge?
The book uses this incredible analogy. Picture the Aztec Emperor Montezuma meeting Cortez. The Aztecs were suddenly facing technology. Horses, steel ships, guns, so advanced it seemed like magic. It was confusing, terrifying, and it completely destabilized their whole world. The argument is that our encounter with AI could feel exactly like that.
Okay, so for basically all of history, political philosophy has bounced between 2 big ideas. You've got Plato's philosopher king, one supremely wise ruler who makes perfect decisions, and you've got Aristotle's wisdom of the crowd, which is pretty much democracy.
The big flaw in the Philosopher King idea has always been that no single human is smart enough to pull it off. But with AI, that changes everything. For the first time ever, a single, hyper-rational mind is actually possible.
So that brings up the big question, doesn't it? Is an AI governor the ultimate benevolent dictator making perfectly logical, efficient decisions for everyone's good? Or is it a new kind of totalitarianism, a cold, calculating rule that has no room for freedom, for mistakes, or for any of the messy, irrational stuff that actually makes us human?
When you put it all together, AI as the explorer, the alien brain, and the potential governor, it's pretty clear we're at a massive fork in the road. Kissinger's final work isn't really a prophecy of doom. It's a wake-up call, telling us we have to start making some very deliberate choices about the kind of future we're building.
And this is the choice, right here. Do we work our tails off to build our values, our ethics, our very humanity into these new systems? Or, in the chase for pure efficiency, do we start to change ourselves to be more like the machines, more logical, more optimized, and maybe a whole lot less human?
At the end of the day, we are looking at way more than just new technology. It's a new kind of exploration beyond our own limits. It's a new form of intelligence that challenges our definition of truth. And it's a new kind of power that could completely reshape society. Just like the title says, this is a new Genesis, a new beginning.
You know, Kissinger's last mission wasn't to give us all the answers. It was to make sure we were asking the right questions. Because as we start to share this planet with these powerful new minds, the biggest question we face is this. In a world remade by AI, what parts of our own humanity are we absolutely, positively not willing to lose?